Hi everyone, I'm Robin from Western Mass. It is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, and we're entering the stress management section of our call. Stress management is so important in dealing with Morgellons and other skin parasites because you lose the ability to think creatively when you panic and you end up in fight or flight mode. So managing stress is really a huge part of getting well, and that's why we're here.
Robin, who do you have to talk to about Morgellons and all the misery it brings you? Who can you talk with? Who understands you? Anybody?
You.
Okay.
That's about it.
You take me out of the equation, or where are you?
Yeah, all alone, nowhere to go. I should write a song.
Mary, who do you have to talk to about Morgellons and parasites and skin parasites? And
you and Robin.
Oh, and Nick.
And Nick, yeah.
Everybody on the call, basically.
Anybody on the call, yeah. Although sometimes not so much.
Yeah, you know, we do have a buddy coach, by the way, and we'll introduce her a little later on.
Excellent.
Which is great. We've been in dire need of a buddy coach for somebody to help us connect with each other and speak with each other and communicate with each other. When we come to these skin parasites, and we had an interesting call in the previous segment, the question and answer period that really belonged to this segment, but it so stresses us out, and we don't really have anybody that understands what we're going through or can even sympathize with us. Like when people have cancer, you got all kinds of specialists. You got oncologists, you got radiologists, you got nurses, you got I don't know, 10,000 hospitals in the country and 200,000 medical doctors in different specialties. And your friends understand what cancer is. They've had friends and relatives pass away from cancer, and they can understand what it is, and they know what stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 is. What the hell is it when it comes to Morgellons? Is nobody understands. We haven't even set stages. We either got it or we don't, and we don't even know how to assess any stages that we may be going through. So it is a real topic. And I was talking with Robin before we started the segment, and brain fog.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Complicate stress. Bring in some brain fog. Yeah. I mean, how many of you? Okay, we've got How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, chronic Lyme, and other skin parasites that many people have acclaimed to be the best book in the world about the subject and most informative, because it not only covers Morgellons, but we get into mites, we get into Columbella, we get into Candida albicans, we get into fungal issues, we get into Lyme disease, we get into many of the different cofactors involved. Yes, people who get their lives back, read it, put in Post-its, read it again, go back to their Post-its, read it again. And many people, after they read one page, before they get to the next, have forgotten what was on the first page. What do you call that?
Brain fog.
Brain fog. So even though it may be the best book in the world, it's sometimes difficult to get through without putting multiple Post-its throughout just to kind of organize things. And many people share how overwhelming the information is that we have to share with you. And it is overwhelming. It is. So brain fog. So tell me the kinds of responses that you get from some people that you coach.
Yeah. Well, and I did want to say, I remember reading a long time ago, it takes the human brain hearing something 36 times for it to sink in. So if you skim the book one time, nothing's going to sink in on a normal level. you know, but when you have brain fog, so here are some recent things that people have asked me. Please tell me what's on the diet. The diet, you have an e-copy of it. You have it in the book. You have an e-copy of the book. Hopefully you have hard copy of the book. I mean, it's all there. And so when people ask me that, I send them the e-copy, and then they say, yeah, but can I eat rice bran oil? Which is the only oil you can eat on the diet. I love this one. I know we can't eat any sprouts, but can I eat broccoli sprouts? Because the diet says you can't eat Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are not a sprout. They're a vegetable. I mean, I don't know. What will cure bites on my legs and arms? That's an open-ended question.
Right.
When can I eat cake? Someone's in a hurry. There's a person contacted me. They said they had been on a psychiatric medication, and when they went off it, all of a sudden they were covered with lesions and bites, and they figured out that it was the medication that caused the Morgellons. And so they think they need to stay off it, and it will just go away. I tried to explain to them that was their thinking was
backwards.
Backwards. I literally used the words backwards, and they got very upset with me, and that conversation did not go well. But you know, if you read the book, those medications are what help lower dopamine intake into the brain, and kind of make us invisible so we can attack our environment. And it's not what causes it. There are so many causes. I mean, Richard had a cloud of things attack him. I had mites and bed bugs and fleas in my home. You could sit on an airline plane. You could sit in a doctor's office in a chair and get bit by something. I mean, who knows? You know, and also there's just like so for example, take bathing. You know, I have told people, what I put in the tub is 6 drops of peppermint oil, a cup of apple cider vinegar, a cup of Epsom salts, a little splash of antibacterial dish soap, Dawn really little splash, and 2 capfuls of Nature's Gift debriding soap. They ended up with red, raw, damaged skin. They went to a dermatologist who said, stop putting it in the bath, stop taking baths. And they contacted me. I said, well, tell me exactly what you put in. So they were putting in like a half a cup of peppermint oil.
Half a cup?
Instead of Epsom salts, they were using 2 cups of Himalayan sea salt, which totally dries out your skin. Instead of a little splash of dish detergent, they were using like a 1/4 cup of dish detergent. They were destroying their skin. It had nothing to do with anything in the book or what I had told them. And you know, this is after they listen and write down notes. So brain fog is a big issue.
Big problem.
It is a big problem because it's hard to get it right, and if you're not able to integrate the knowledge you need to do the stuff, nothing will work.
Yes. So you know, there's a story that is in one of the books by Terry Cole Whitaker, Reverend Terry Cole Whitaker. I forget which one it is that she wrote, but she wrote this. You know, this guy was walking along and he fell into this pit that was set to catch like a lion or a tiger, and it was too high for him to just jump out, so he started crying for help. And we have free coaching. We have Robin, we have Ethel, we have
Nick.
Megan, Nick, Anna, and so it's like crying for Coach to come pull him out, and no one showed up. And he cried some more. This went on for a couple of days, and finally he took charge of the situation. He read the damn book and climbed out of the pit, you know. So he figured out how to get out himself. The book is a resource.
Right.
Now, we want you to take advantage of our coaches, yes, but please read the book. Put in Post-its. We know that brain fog is phenomenal, and we also know that when you boost your glutathione levels, brain fog has a tendency to go away pretty quickly. We know that. We also have the device sitting on my left shoulder here with what is that oil? It's in the clary sage oil, which also stimulates intellectual activity and helps reduce brain fog. So there are two basic things we know that you can do, plus being on the King diet is going to be beneficial in reducing brain fog. So we urge you that please read the book. The answers most likely are in there, and use Robin and our coaches to help clarify what's already in the book. So instead of writing, when can I eat cake, you might read the book and say, oh, I'm in stage 2. How long does it take to get to stage 3? But Richard's not quite clear there. Is it, you know, well, the answer is we don't know. We don't know. There are a lot of unknowns. What I do know is that using the parasite stop formula really helps kick in stage 1, stage 2, and helps you get to stage 3. It really does. And you may need to be on it for a long time, but it's worth it because it's amazing how free life can be. So read the book. The diet is in the book, very clear, and there's no way that Robin or any of the coaches can tell you what you can eat without writing, what, how many pages? 3 pages? You got to write down 3 pages, and it's very detailed. And then, again, what you can't eat, that's another 3 pages, and very detailed. So please do think before you ask a question and deal with the brain fog, because the brain fog just doesn't make life easy, and it doesn't make life easy for the coaches either.
Yeah, well, I had a kind of question and also answer how the stress has affected me, but do you have to take the parasite stop or one of the other medications to get from stage 1 to stage 2, or can you possibly do it without? 'Cause I'm struggling with those types of things.
Well, I don't really know. It's an individual thing. All I know from my personal experience is that the medication helped me get from stage 1 to stage 2. I can't say that's going to be true for everybody. What was your experience, Robin?
Well, I think it depends on how bad your environment's infested. If it's not bad, people get on stage 1 and it's like a miracle. If you keep getting attacked by your environment, then the parasite stop or the psychiatric drugs help tremendously so you can attack your environment. The cool thing about parasite stop is it doesn't seem to have the side effects that the psychological drugs have. And if you're on one of those drugs, you should not just suddenly stop it. I don't know if you should take that and parasite stop. If you want to try parasite stop, you should slowly wean yourself off the one thing before you start the other, is my take on it. But I don't think you have to necessarily, if you can get your environment under control, you don't need to take the drugs. I wasn't able to do that. I was on Pimazide for 4 months in my first round with this issue, and it made me almost invisible, and I was able to like hit the environment hard, but it took 4 months. And this time I'm taking Parasite Stop, and I love it. I haven't even reached the full dose, but it's really helpful. There are no side effects, and I'm going after my environment with a vengeance.
Thank you. My personal experience was I didn't have a problem with the environment. I just had trouble going from stage 1 to stage 2, and the Primazide really made that happen quickly for me. But everybody's different.
As far as handling stress, I don't know, for me it's just a day by day, minute by minute, prayer, and this community that you guys have helps me a lot. I want to say thank you again, Robin and Chris and Richard and Nick and all of you guys. I really appreciate it. It really helps.
Well, glad to hear that, and we're glad to be here for you.
You're right. Nobody else understands this stuff. I try to explain it to my sister, my mom, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I think that'll give you additional stress trying to explain that to people.
Okay, you can speak now.
Hi. Thank you so much for hearing me. I was very hesitant to speak. I've been listening to you, and since I discovered you about 5 days ago on the internet searching Morgellons, because as you know, no matter who you speak to, they don't understand or believe or anything, and you're in this hell, and I'm completely isolated myself from the rest of the world, and I was a person who went around the world 5 times. I'm an A-list celebrity hairstylist who cannot go out into, I can't. I mean, I look like a monster now. And I once was extremely attractive according to even my clients. And I'm so stressed out that I thought about literally taking my life several times, and I have a daughter, and that's literally the only thing that stopped me. I know it would ruin her because I'm everything to her, and I guess that's a poor excuse for not taking her life, but it's the only one I had. And looking in the mirror or going outside or I wouldn't go to the store unless the store was open 24 hours because I'd go in the middle of the night. So my entire face had these holes with these filaments coming out of it, and no one could tell me what was wrong with me. And I've never gone out on tour with any of my clients, and I did for the very first time, and I don't know, it was in the summer, it was just all outside, and I was around all these different environments and not used to that, and it was, I don't know if that's when, I think a couple things contributed to this thing. One was the old Indian form of hair threading hair off your face with 2 pieces of thread. They hold 1 piece in their mouth. And I don't think the person washed their hands or whatever, and she also told me that all my pores would remain open for 24 hours. So whatever I came in contact with had free reign to come on in. And the stress of the change of my life, going from being booked as a freelance artist 362 out of 365 days a year, making, close to $1 million a year, to being completely alone and hiding from the world because I was repulsed by my own reflection in the mirror. I just couldn't. And now, this has gone on for close to 5 years. I just found you. I'm 3 days into the diet, strict. I already see myself like deep puffing because I was so inflamed. And I've had such bad infections on my ankles for no reason. I mean, I'm not allergic to my environment. I used to love the world, go anywhere, everywhere, and not react, or my body would never invite such things in. My mind was far stronger than that. Now my mind is so broken. I'm so broken. And then there's the pandemic came along, and everybody else started isolating. And I laughed. I was like, I've been already isolating for 3 years before this pandemic started. And it's just so stressful to not live your life. Like, I'm alive, but I'm not living.
Like you're alive in a shell.
I mean, there got up to a point where I would never leave the house. I just didn't want anyone to see me. And that is insane. I mean, that can make you go insane, I think. And then I started taking, pills to calm down because I would get anxious and crazy in here and, bouncing off the walls because, this is not who I am, but it is who I am now. And I just want my life back so bad. And I think...
Has anybody ever told you that everything happens for a reason?
Oh, please, yes.
Have you found any reason for this?
I'm not sure. I think I have in a way because it has humbled me tremendously. I was always very, what's the right word? People used to tell me that I was confrontational, powerful, all these things. Only the most strong, difficult personalities in the world liked me immediately and for no reason. The checkout girl at ShopRite would hate my guts or whatever, just by the way I spoke to them, apparently. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't hurt a fly. I mean, I have no problem with anybody.
How they perceived you was really different than how you really were.
Yeah, I give you the shirt off my back. All my clients know that, but
I can relate with that.
I was too, I'm what you see is what you get. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I always had such strength in life and hope and love and everything, and I just feel like I'm always mistaken for the tone in my voice as being very strong or whatever it is they think I am. Honestly, it's just the tone. I can't change the sound of my voice.
It's a very humbling experience.
Maybe I thought I was bigger than I was, but, before my father died many years ago, he was always like, you can do and be anything you want. And then I came from nothing, like a blue-collar family, and made something of myself, seriously made something of myself. And then, to have other people tell me, you need to be more humble and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know who you are, but you don't know me deep down inside. And I am humble, but I don't come across as humble to people, apparently.
Well, welcome to the program. Welcome to getting your life back. You've been 3 days on the diet, and what have you noticed so far, did you say?
Well, normally my stomach is so painful and bloated, and it's not.
What is painful and bloated? Your stomach?
Well, everything, but normally my stomach is like, I'm a tiny little thing, right? I'm 5'3" and I weigh 104 pounds. And my stomach looked like, them kids from Biafra, because whatever it is has gotten into my bloodstream. And the Morgellons, like, I have a biopsy that says the first word on it is Morgellons from a clinical dermatologist. And I have blood tests that say I have Lyme in my blood. And yet,
let me get this right. You're saying a dermatologist diagnosed you as having Morgellons?
Yes.
Oh, it's amazing. He's a first, but he didn't really.
I did too.
He didn't really know what to do about it.
No, like nobody addressed that part of my biopsy. They would treat it as like they put me on. I've been to so many doctors, and but he's the first doctor I saw, actually, and I was away for a holiday, with my sister in Florida, and I live in New Jersey, so I'm no longer, I'm not normally down there, but anyway, this doctor was like a clinical dermatologist. He had kids with cancer in his office and all of this stuff, and he was amazing. He was smart, and he's like, you have, Morgellons and Prurigo nodularis and something else. And I was like, wow, I don't know what those things are and whatever. But I came back home right away, so I couldn't go back to see him. And then he flew planes. He has his own little plane, and he would fly pets to people who wanted them in his spare time. And his plane went down, and he died.
Oh gosh, one of the few people who recognized it when we lost him. Gosh.
Yes.
We could have certainly used him as a medical advisor.
Exactly. I mean, he was really smart, incredibly smart, actually, like prodigy smart.
If anybody on this call knows of a doctor who actually acknowledges Morgellons and would be willing to serve as a medical advisor for us, please connect us together. Please. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Not a problem. I mean, I just wish that I lived near him, because I've never been a sickly person, and I've been to, like, Patagonia on the glaciers. I've been in third world countries. I went with, and always for work, but and my last one was in Cambodia. I was, walking on the killing fields and saving female human trafficking starting at 5 years old. And so I'm in these environments that are incredibly toxic, full of germs. I would never get sick from anything, ever.
Right.
And this has gone on for the past 30 years or more. And now all of a sudden I'm like picking up parasites or whatever that I'm inviting into my body. It's like, I mean, it has to be partially, an invitation, I think, in a certain respect. Because why does that?
It's easy to come to conclusions like that. But the reality is, the susceptibility factor it's like a switch. It's either on or it's off, and there's no reason for it. It could be pheromones, but there's no reason for it. So what we want to do is we want to avoid coming to things like, okay, this happened for a reason in my life. Maybe I was a bad person and I'm paying for it. These things don't happen for any reason. It's up to you to find a reason from which you can benefit. But it didn't happen to make you more a humble person. It didn't happen for any reason. But you can take what has been given to you and either commit suicide or create a reason to go on. My reason became to be here for you guys. One of the purposes of my life. You know, what is your purpose in life? Everybody from the time they're like 12 years of age or younger start looking for a purpose in life. Oh, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a doctor. I want to be this. I want to be that. You know, to identify ourselves, we end up being not just us, but we end up being our profession. And that becomes our reason in life.
Well, that's I lived my profession. That's all I did. And that's been taken away from me. And that, I think, is partially the reason I got this. Because I was not living my own life. I was living my work life, and I would dive into work, have no relationships ever, like for 10 years on the trot. And then I'd meet somebody and get married and get divorced a year and a half later because I don't even know them and we don't get along. And it was very bizarre. I think that I was a workaholic who didn't want to really see who I really was or what I am, and I would just work with everybody else and make everybody else, I'd lift everybody else up and make them amazing looking and stuff and create all these fantasies for magazines and all this stuff and just be creative. That's all I did, but I didn't address my own life.
Well, you developed your identity through what you were doing. Your identity was what you created your professional environment to be, and that's typically normal. If you like to read, do you like to read?
I can't read. I'm so ADD. It's ridiculous. I can't remember. Like, I'm brain fogged out to the max, and I've also affected my eyesight tremendously.
Well, the good news is that you got the diet started, and you're on your way. And keep coming back. If you haven't completed the questionnaire, please do so. I'll provide you with complete detailed recommendations, A to Z. And what my prediction is, 6 months from now, you'll be one of our coaches.
You are really quite amazing, I have to say, and I'm so grateful that I found you. I really am. I think you are an onslaught of information for people who haven't listened one bit to me, saying, I'm telling you, this thing is a Morgellons thing, and no one knows what Morgellons is, so forget it. And you're right about the cancer, and if you have cancer, you can have support anywhere you go. And because one of my sisters is a cancer survivor, and but if you have this is the most debilitating disease or whatever you want to call it, and it destroys your life, takes it away. Like you can't get it back. No matter, like even when I had the hope in the beginning, I mean, I just kept getting worse. Now it's all over me and it's in my blood, and I nearly died. I became sepsis and got put in the hospital on intravenous IV. It didn't put a dent in my Morgellons, but it did clear up the infection in my ankle. What's with that ankle thing?
The inflammation? It's hard to say. There, you know, as we talk about it, there are so many different cofactors, and Morgellons just gives an opportunity for every Tom, Dick, and Harry in terms of the disease world to have a field day with you.
It's the most bizarre thing. It's like my ankles. When you spoke about it first bothering your ankles, I was like, oh my God, this guy is like for real.
Yeah, that's oftentimes columbella or springtails attack you around the ankles. It actually feels like they're eating your flesh. It feels like they're having beef to eat. That's what it feels like.
And from nowhere, like these holes appear, and I'd get these like black sections on me, like literally underneath my skin. It looked like I was rotting from the inside out.
Yeah. Yep, it is. It's systemic. It gets to the point where it is eating you inside out. I mean, it's amazing. Well, I welcome you to the program. Keep coming back. We're both in New Jersey. Perhaps one day in the next several months we'll meet. Okay, and as I said, I welcome you. You stick with the diet and the protocol, and I predict you will be a coach for us if you have the time and desire to be of support to others. Robert, what do we want to do? We want to do a song, deep breathing, some humor. Anybody got a good joke they'd like to share?
How about the Happy Self song? We haven't done that in a while.
I think the Happy Self song is excellent. Absolutely. We're fortunate to have Robin, who is also a professional musician, and her link is on our updates that go out. Please subscribe to her. She contributes every Sunday to be here with us. She's gone through the hell, as all of us have, and she's giving back, as all of our coaches do, being appreciative of getting their lives back to the point that they can be of service to others. To be a coach, and we welcome anybody to be a coach, the first step is simply to be one step ahead of everybody else. And the first step is to get the diet to work. If you make the diet work, you are amazing and can be in a position to help others who are having difficulties at that level. So, and we also welcome, if anybody would like to share your experience and your progress, you could be our guest speaker. We have a testimonials YouTube videos. I mean, we must have about maybe 3 hours of testimonials that we've picked out of these meetings that we've had, that we posted, so that you can go and get enlightenment. Sharing your experience provides enlightenment for people who are beginning the path, because there are so many paths out there that, you know, Carlos Castaneda once says, there's no right path in life. No right path in life, but choose a path that has a heart. I love that statement.
That's beautiful.
Choose a path that has a heart. So we're here to share our hearts every Sunday. We know it's not easy. It is stressful. As the lady just shared, it knocks your life upside down. I was fortunate. I kept my company. I had other people running it for me for a while. It didn't necessarily interfere with my finances and turn my life upside down, but I can appreciate many people have shared they've lost their six-figure incomes in Manhattan on Wall Street to live in a car, because there's nobody out there that really understands. And unfortunately, you know, the dermatologist who knew what Morgellons was ends up in a plane crash. That's our luck. Great. So let's do the Happy Cell song. Take it away.
All right. So I did not write this song, but it is a really fun song. It goes to the tune of Mama's Children Love Shortbread. Okay, and so I'm going to sing it 2 times, and I know you guys are muted, but feel free to sing along, okay? I learned this song when I was in bed for over 90 days with COVID. I used to lie in bed and sing it to myself. So, all right. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. Yeah, hold that thought.